Rob Van Dam! Rob Van Dam! Rob Van Dam!
I'm Rob Van Dam. The whole show.
From Battle Creek, Michigan, weighing 230 pounds,
Rob Van Dam, damn it. We want it back, damn it.
Damn it. Damn it, Bobby.
Check this out. I was fucking with the ECW Television Championship belt right when Howard Finkel was announcing me. It's 230 pounds, and I pulled it down.
You pulled it down. That's badass, Rob.
But at least now the air conditioner is going to fucking hit me a little better.
Ooh.
That's what I was trying to do, was fucking pull it out so the air conditioner would have an unobstructed pathway because it's hot as fuck. And when that's up there, the air doesn't blow as hard. So anyway, Rob Van Dam.
Yeah. Welcome back, everybody. Hey, it's One of a Kind with RVD. That's that guy over there. Over this way. There he is.
Hey.
Hey. We're live on a Monday night. Guess what, Rob? Raw isn't on right now because Raw happened earlier because they're in London. So we took the Raw spot tonight. We're W Raw tonight.
You know, I have been called Mr. Monday Night once or twice.
Have you? Wow, I didn't know that. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right. Well, I hope everyone is doing fantastic.
Yeah. Everybody's in the house here. We got Maddie. We got Jem the Dawn. We got Jem the Dawn says, "You feel me?"
I hope you do.
I hope you do. Enjoy. Anytime I see enjoy now, Rob, I just immediately think about business lobby.
Yeah.
Jem asked you, how hot is it in Nevada right now?
100. Well, yesterday it was 105, so it's probably about the same today. 105, but only feels like 103.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so pretty warm. And I just came from Florida. We were in Florida for a week visiting family. Got to introduce my mom and sister to the babies.
Oh, that's awesome.
So Katie's in-laws too. They hadn't got a chance to meet them yet, so that was really cool. And I got to tell you, 105 here is more comfortable than 89 in that fucking humidity. Like I left my mom's to go to the airport, all showered up, clean clothes and everything. Changed in after hitting the gym, feeling fresh. Just on the short fucking walk from the front door to the car, and then waiting for the air conditioner because I didn't start at first, which I should have done. But anyway, just in that couple minutes, I'm just drenched again. I feel gross. I'm soaked. My shirt is soaked. It looks like I wore it and jumped in the pool. I'm sticky, and I need another shower again. And I just can't imagine living in Florida unless that's something that maybe my body would adapt to. But it's hard to imagine. I don't know. Maybe that's what happens though.
I think that's kind of maybe what happens. I mean, there's plenty of guys that do live down in Florida. I know, like,
of course,
Luke, Fonzie, obviously, Nash. There's a whole bunch of them. And
I bet there's even people we don't even know that live in Florida.
Yeah, right? I'm just naming wrestlers. That's it.
No, but that doesn't mean that they're as sensitive to the humidity as me, though. Some of those guys, maybe it never bothered them. So I don't really go by that and just automatically assume that if I lived there, that it wouldn't suck for me. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I do like the dry heat though of Vegas. Like that is, it's hot. Don't get me wrong, but I still appreciate that. I think more than I would the humidity too, because it's just like a sweaty, disgusting kind of heat. When Vegas, you get that dry heat.
Here it's like you go outside and it's like someone's got a hairdryer in your face.
Yes, that's a good way to put it. It definitely is like that too. But
Who would-
yeah,
Who wouldn't want that in the summer?
that's right. Just constant blow drying to your face when you're walking around.
Without the noise.
Mm-hmm. Can't beat it. The Kawhi, Kaiju
Kawhi,
said.
Kawhi,
Kaiju? Kawada? It's Kawada? Is he
There's-
gonna kick you? Is he gonna kick you? He says, I've been missing this whole fucking show. Well, welcome. Welcome to the show.
welcome.
Yeah, welcome.
And no refunds, by the way.
No refunds at all. Hey, oh my gosh, why can't I read?
Indigo.
In Cave Magad? Question for RVD. When are you going to San Antonio? Are you going to go down to San Antonio, Texas anytime soon, Rob?
That's one town that I seem to go to a lot more than a lot of other towns, just, and in whatever space of time, whether it's a year or a 3-block year or whatever, it just seems like there's a lot of visits there. But having said that, nothing planned as of now.
Okay. Rob is a world traveler, everyone, just so you know. He's been all over the place.
True that.
He has been. Okay. Here's a good question, too. Folks, by the way, if you want to get into the raffle, we do have a raffle going on today. I have to get more addresses. People haven't sent me their addresses yet. So, Ash Vega, I need yours. Frank Catrizo, you always ask the good questions. I still need yours. I need a couple more, too. And I have all the envelopes. I just got to write the addresses and then mail them out to you. And, Maddie, I got to get you an international envelope, too, again. But this week we have, check this one out, Rob. It's you doing the Van Dam lift. It's a Topps Chrome Prism. So this one will be available. This will be the grand prize. Not only will you get this, but you'll get an RVD IOU or RVD. If you ever meet him in person, you get a picture and an autograph and get to say hi to RVD. And
that's the latest ones that Topps just sent me to sign, and just sent them like maybe 2 to 3 weeks ago. I just sent back 1,000 of them that I had autographed.
Wow, those are going to be sweet to pull out of the pack for sure. But
that's my favorite card. My favorite RVD card. Good memory. I mean,
Rob, you can start collecting your own cards. I think that'd be pretty cool to get. Each have like a whole bunch of the cards that you need. There's some really neat ones. I was like, some of them I'm like, I kind of want to keep this, but I'm like wrapping them off. Runner up.
Well, a good idea. I mean, it's an idea, but I don't think I will start with my own cards. It's just something I don't know much about. Just like even like with video games and stuff, like I collect them, but they're not even like on display. Maybe they should be, but I just have like a big comic book box full of all the video games and all the DVDs that they would give us when I was working for them, and they're still, in the plastic cellophane, not unwrapped yet. And it's cool to have, but for whatever reason, I haven't put them on display, or I guess I don't give them the same kind of love I give the more tangible objects. Not that they're not tangible, but they're just like, I don't know, there's so many cards, and I don't know if some belong to a game or if they just, I think they do, I don't know. So I think some belong to a game and some are just collectibles. I don't even know.
Yeah. And some of those things too, like sports cards and stuff, they can be kind of hard to display just because they're so small. I'm like, where are you going to put them? And you almost have to have them in a binder and open them up and flip them.
Yeah, it is cool. And put someone has an album.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they page after page, they have a really cool collection. But I don't think it's something I want to start now, because then I have to hunt down 30 years worth of cards.
Yeah, a whole shit ton of cards going on.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't interest me. So don't send me cards for my collection thinking you're giving me a gift, because it's just gonna end up on my eBay.
Well, I will send you the one Hulk Hogan card that you're
send
with.
Me that one Hulk Hogan card.
I'll send you that one Hulk Hogan card. I got to get a hold of Frankie Citro again, by the way, because I mailed him a flash drive, and he said he never received it. And I was like, "Are you sure? Check an envelope." And he's like, "It's not there." And I'm like, "It's in there." I was like, "I taped it in there." And he's like, "It's not fucking there." And I'm like, "Yeah, Frankie," I was like, I'll send you another one. But it's been months.
It got the envelope, but couldn't find the drive in it.
Couldn't find the drive because it was like a little tiny thing. And I was like, I taped it inside the thing. It's got to be there. He's like, no, I don't see it. And I was like, so I got to send him a new one. It's been months. So runner-up will get this cool CM Punk Chrome card. So that's what the runner-up will get tonight. So if you want to enter the raffle, all you got to do, $5 super chat on rvdtv.com will get you entered, or you gift a membership. Anything above that, you get multiple entries. So a $10 will get you 2, et cetera, et cetera. All right. Well, we did have somebody gift a membership here. Let me see here. It was, oh my gosh, Jim D gave us $10. So thanks, Jim D. If you do have a question, drop it to us. I'll be happy to ask Rob for you. And then Maddie, he just gave a super chat here. 55 degrees here. What? Oh, Celsius probably. Just got new Ugg boots. Spark them. Wow, okay. Is it 50? It's got to be 55 degrees Celsius, right, Maddie? What is that in Fahrenheit? Probably. It's got to be really hot in Australia. That's all I'm thinking. Maddie did ask, what do you think about the aspect, the notion that marijuana causes schizophrenia? He was seeing stuff about that people were saying some stuff. Have you ever heard anything to that effect about weed or anything causing schizophrenia, Rob?
Causing schizophrenia. I need a lighter. You got a lighter?
Yeah, here, let me hold on.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. It's an RVD lighter, man.
Wow.
Whoa.
Those are fucking sweet.
WWE legit.
Bic too.
RVD lighter. Say no bootleg. I'm on Instagram selling RVD t-shirts without his permission shit.
No, that should happen.
WWE. So my understanding is that I always say that we all react differently to everything in life. We're all individuals. That's pretty much the point of everything that I ever say. That's my perspective behind it. My understanding is that if you have some preconditions, you could potentially be more in jeopardy than your average Joe and unlocking something, and who knows what the stimuli in your life environment could be. Cannabis is one of those things where if you have some kind of potential or even active mental disorder, it could be that cannabis isn't the best thing for you, and it could possibly actually contribute to a element of psychosis that you're not looking for, thereby getting a lot of the blame for it when in fact it wasn't something that it did on its own and couldn't do to a normal unconditioned person.
Okay, because I know too. Like when I smoke, I'm diagnosed with OCD, like literally. So it's like it elevates my anxiety. Like,
spell that, by the way.
Hmm?
How do you spell that, by the way? I want to look it up.
Yeah, I think it's W. Dang it, I don't know.
Okay.
You stumped me. I need to do the spelling bee. But yes, it heightens up my anxiety. But sometimes, like with other people, it calms them down. It just depends on the person.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so, I do believe that though, that's possibly a key that could unlock some shit that's already there. For the haters to use that as just sole leverage to demonize the plant doesn't make too much sense to me, though.
Yeah, exactly. That's because anything could disrupt you if you take it like in a certain. It's gonna interact differently with anybody. So, it's just a big kind of like a misnomer with a lot of that stuff. But yeah, anybody can. It's gonna be different experiences for different people.
If your perspective is, hey, that's just one more reason to just stay away from it, don't even take a chance, whatever, then cool. I mean, that's a valid opinion, and I'm not gonna hate you for it. Run with
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Totally. Jim D, who gave us the $10 super chat, he does ask you a question, Rob. Can you still do the Van Damme split?
I don't know. I think so. It's the Van Damme. Well, he didn't say the Van Damme lift because with the
Oh,
weights.
that's true. Yeah, the Van Damme lift. Yeah, the split. Can you still do the split?
Yeah, I think so. I when I'm in my jacuzzi is like 7 feet long, and so when I go diagonal, I can put my feet on the benches, and I do that in the jacuzzi all the time. But it's in the water with no gravity or whatever constrictions are lifted by having my body in the water. It's so much easier, and I can't see exactly like what angle I'm at, but my feet are out and I'm down in that comfortable position, and that's something I do pretty much every day in the jacuzzi.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
man. And that's got to be, man. And that's what I miss, like not having a pool and stuff like that. Is just being able to kind of do all that, like, is it plyometrics? Is that what they call it when you're in the pool and doing that stuff?
Plyometrics, I believe, are doing like anything with your body weight as
Yeah.
the force, the aggressor. Without, I think that's what plyometrics refers to as anything without weights added to your body weight.
Oh, okay.
Alexa,
like what?
The plyometric.
Good job. Yeah.
Biometrics are unique physical or behavioral traits used to identify individuals. Think of it like a high-tech fingerprint, your body's own special code. Want to hear about some common examples of biometrics in use today?
She heard biometrics.
Biometrics.
We ain't talking about no biometrics. I said plyo with a P.
Uh-oh. She no-sold you.
Not talking to me. Yeah. Alexa, what are plyometrics?
Plyometrics are explosive exercises that make your muscles exert maximum force in quick bursts. Think of it like a supercharged workout that trains your body to move fast and powerful, perfect for athletes needing quick bursts of speed and strength. Want to see some examples of plyometric exercises?
No, that's okay. But yeah, that's right. They are specific. I was thinking it was a more generic term, like that included calisthenics and other things. But I remember now, yeah, it's a particular kind of workout that includes like jumps and
okay.
As opposed to Pilates, where you got cables and pulleys and you do like a puppet.
Yeah, the puppet stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, why are we talking about plyometrics?
Because I thought that's what you did in the pool.
Oh.
Yeah, but I was wrong. Well, you could do plyometrics, I guess, in the pool. You could just try to jump or whatever. I don't know.
That can make you jump.
Crisscross. We'll make it jump. Nelso, Kelso, like the name. Oh, yeah, you gave your graphic. Like, hey, yo, guys, RVD, big love, my man. Always down to hang out with Mr. Pay-Per-View, Mr. Monday Night, the whole effing show. Well, thanks for joining us, Nelso, Kelso.
Yeah, dude, yeah, thanks for hanging out. I forgot to say spark them if you got them. Obviously, I got one, and I sparked it.
He sparked it. He's got it. He sparked it. He did it.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. He's got it. Mackenzie. Wasn't I added to the raffle last week? If so, can I send you the address if you tell me where to? Mackenzie, I entered you in the raffle, but you didn't win the raffle because I don't think I announced your name. I'll double check just to make sure, but I don't think you won. But you can enter again if you want, and or you can always just ask Rob a question too. That too. Let me see here. Steve Soleil, friend of the show, he asked you, Rob, what's the most RVD ever benched and squatted?
So I benched 420. And,
nice.
Yeah. And my squat was, I think it was 525. Yeah.
525.
5 plates, a dime, 5-pound collars. What's that? $4.95 and 30, $4.25, $5.25. Yeah, yeah.
Wow. What's the most you've done on like the leg sled, Rob? Do you know?
No, I have no idea.
No.
I never kept track of shit like that, but squats and bench, are things like everybody kind of keeps track of, and during the time when I put both of those up, it was like a week by week charting my progress, like
yeah.
I would do 4. I always, when I squatted, like my maintenance heavy set, I would go up to 405. And I would do like 12 reps, nice and deep. And then that was like my maintenance thing. And then just one time I added weights to see, how much I could do for max. That was at Gold's Gym in Long Beach, California. And Michael Villalobos was spotting me. Shout out to Michael V. And then, same thing with the bench. Like it was something where, week by week, I was like going up. And I remember seeing somebody, like when I was just getting 315 up a couple times, I remember seeing a dude next to me, one of the wrestlers, actually, this was in Florida, but I remember seeing him put 315 on, and he just like wrapped it out like 10 times. And I remember going, damn, I wish I could do that. And then, I was like getting heavier, and the bar was getting heavier. And so it was something where it was like I say, like charting it like every week, like, ooh, I added another 10 pounds this week, and, you gotta always feel like you're at your best when you're in there and really are counting on fucking getting a new PR, as they call it now, right? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, PR. Yeah, PR. My PR.
What's the R?
Personal record. Personal record.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah. I don't mess with the weight bench that much, so I don't know how much I can bench. It's not a lot. I'll just say that. Okay. So Maddie adds to the thing. Sharon Osbourne on the Osbourne podcast bashed weed. I think she was the one that talked about maybe schizophrenia or something like that. So Sharon Osbourne.
What?
She was the one that talked about the schizophrenia and weed, I believe.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, she should know crazy.
Hey, crazy train.
By the way, that was 2001 when I was benching that too. So that was like when I came into WWE. I was lifting that heavy, going on the road, hitting the gyms on the road and shit, and throwing like 345s and a 25 on there and trying to get people to spot me and saying, yeah, I'm going to get like 4 or 5 reps. Don't worry, I won't really need your help. They'd be like, I don't know. I'm not really comfortable spotting you. No, I won't need your help. I just in case, And I don't know, man. Like that's where that line, that kind of weight crosses that line to where your average Joe is, like one time here in Vegas, actually, I asked Justin Credible to spot me with that same speech. Dude, I'm not just, if I say help, don't even touch it unless I say help. And then if I do, all you got to do is just pull a little bit. I'll get it. Like I won't be exhausted. I got this, And he was like, I don't know, Rob. And then he went and got X-Pac and had X-Pac stand on one side and he stood on the other. Each on the other side of the bar, which is a horrible way to get spotted, I think. Because they're not going to be even, you know what I mean? It's going to fucking tell. Yeah. Anyway, but that was if you're, if you're just curious when that was 2001, 2002, around that area,
Yeah, because they were. Him and X-Pac and Justin Credible were the tag team X Factor, I remember. And they had Uncle Kracker singing their theme song. It was sweet. So when you were saying that, all I was imagining was that the X Factor theme playing as they're helping you lift up. That's really funny. Shit. Maddie, he also asked a question last week. I forgot to ask you. What do you remember the time when the fan ran into the ring with you and Eddie Guerrero during the ladder match? I think it was. Yeah. Can you reflect on that for Maddie?
I mean, yeah, it was not that much to talk about, you know. By the time, I mean, it takes a second before you realize exactly what's going on because you don't expect that, and it's not something you visualized when you were thinking of coming out here and doing this match, and then it's like, wait, that there's really a fan in the ring, and once you get past that point, then you know, for me, it was just like, well, you know, I'm on the cell, but also I'm babyface here. I don't want to have to fucking go throw the guy on his head. Hopefully they got it situated. If not, in an emergency situation, you know, if he was blindsiding Eddie and Eddie was in trouble or something, I would have to try to stop it somehow. And right away, I just, you know, assess the whole situation in half a second and know they got it under control. It's good, you know, just stay down, wait till it's done. They'll pull them out. Then mostly I'm just pissed that they're distracting from the match at that point. So then I got to wait, you know, enough time to where all the eyes aren't following him getting kicked out before, you know, I start fucking giving RVD face again.
If the say like a fan did get in the ring and stuff like that, and you like caught it like early in it or anything, would you just like lay into him like big time, just be like, get the fuck out of here, like you just pound away, or how would you kind of handle that? Self-defense?
Not unless it was. I mean, it would be circumstantial, you know what I mean? But I can't imagine reacting like that unless it was something. I mean, let's say I see a guy coming in and he's running towards my opponent. My opponent's back is turned, and he's running it with a knife, and he's going to stab him. I mean, in a situation like that, hey, you know, all rules are out the door. You know what I mean? That's about stopping the danger any way possible, and whether it's ugly or not. If say I'm just selling by the ropes and I see some overly excited dude roll in and just you know, just start coming, you know, towards my opponent, and I'm able to just like waist lock him, you know, I could. I mean, most likely I would probably suplex him, but I could also see if he ran, if I just waist locked him, you know, just like throwing him back and say, whoa, nobody, you don't want to do that. And just, you know, boom, security grabs him, he's out the door, security's got him. I babyfaced the whole thing, you know, I didn't make an enemy out of it. That would all that would be necessary if that's all that it took to control it.
Absolutely, yeah. No, that's a good way to handle it too, I think. And
a lot of guys want to put the boots to him right away because, you know, you want to send a message, you want to discourage anybody else from getting in the ring. You want to say, fuck you, you don't deserve to be in the ring. Like, you're disrespecting every fucking bump we take right now. And you can use a lot of, I mean, there's a lot of ways you could look at it, and I could see where wrestlers could feel that way. First off, if you even think you can come in and fucking take Eddie on, then you're mentally ill. Eddie's gonna beat your fucking ass.
Yeah.
And further, more than that, a lot of wrestlers would be insulted by just saying any of us would beat your ass, and we're gonna beat your ass, just so you understand that, you know?
Yeah. Rob, I reposted the video of you telling it's one of my favorite stories is you confronting Scott Norton, or Scott Norton, you and Scott Norton basically going back.
Confronting me.
Yeah.
He came up on me.
He came up on me. But a lot of the feedback was they were real. Like a lot of the viewers said how appreciative they were, how you de-escalated the situation. Like
Oh,
you
good.
didn't
Yeah.
match his energy with like what he was doing, and
If
like
I
you
did
kind of
it, sure, it would have been a fight if I matched his energy, for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. So
Yeah,
it was pretty positive feedback.
bully fucking, I'm in control of this situation, and you better, fucking be intimidated and do the right thing and recede where I want to fucking come forward at the right time, or else, we're going to be bumping heads. It was,
Yeah.
know.
No, it was great going back and watching that back. It was like not only was it a funny story, but you handled it really, really well. So, and it's great
Did you leave
advice.
the part in with it? Did you leave the part in and then I went to Bubba Dudley and told him the whole story?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Go ask
so
Bubba. Why would I need to ask Bubba? You're saying right here. No, you're right. You don't need to ask Bubba, but you should ask Bubba.
You should ask him.
What are you talking about? You sound crazy to me right now. Yeah. How come? But I mean, that was so long ago. How are when you make the clips, like are you like that far behind, or you just have all those in the library?
So what sparked me to redo the clip was it was Scott Norton's birthday, and so I was like, oh, I'll just clip up what we had previously and then just repost it. And so, because we talked about that a couple years ago, actually. So,
yeah. What year was that? Did he?
I looked it up. I think it was like 2024 is when we were talking about it. Like
I think it was. Yeah, it was 2016. No, it was New Orleans. It was when WrestleMania was in New Orleans, and
so that was 20. What? That was 2018, maybe 2018. That was in New Orleans.
Okay. And I have a follow-up question. Oh, how old is he? Do you know?
I think he's 69. Let me check it real quick. I think he turned 69, if I remember correctly. Age. Oh, Scott Norton, 68, June 15th, 1958.
Word.
Happy belated, Scott. Flash, as he's known as too. Pat's Plastic. Hey guys, Dom, next time you're with RVD in person, you got to show him my RVD Sabu fig stash. If that was you that showed me those pics, yes, it was you, Pat. Because we're friends on Facebook. Remind me again. I'll show the pictures next week on the show. I'll show the pictures next week. He's got a good collection of your figures and Sabu too as well. So, Pat, you're also in the raffle 5.
Action figures.
Yes, action figures. Mackenzie, you did enter the raffle. Thanks for the $5. When working for WWE, did you and most people have what attires they wore each week chosen by management, or was it just what one felt like wearing? Yeah, how much did management and creative get involved with, hey, what you're wearing one week or next, or was that at your discretion for the most part?
For 99% of the time, they had no say-so whatsoever, and then they tried to take control of it, and that didn't last, and then that was only like 1% of the time I was there. So if you hadn't heard the story, I was wearing the airbrushed outfits that Joe Holland would make for me, and Michael Hayes pulled me aside one time. He called it tie-dye. It's something like completely different. Tie-dye is like what the Dudleys wear.
Right.
Okay. But he says, that tie-dye, well, he reminds us of the 70s. You know what I'm saying? So like we were thinking, like getting the seamstresses to make you like something a little thicker, something like see like what Kurt Angle wears, only make it more like you. Like you talk to them and find something that works for you, have them make you something. And I think that I probably put it off, seems like something I would do, and was told and reminded a few times until I knew they were serious about it. And then they made an outfit for me, and it was black, and it's got like a silver dragon on it, and a couple other like patches that they sewed on, and it was very much like the Kurt Angle outfit as far as the material, the cut. It was also very basic, I thought, and I missed the airbrushing that I thought had bright colors and was totally different, unique. Nobody was doing it, and I thought that the fans really liked it too. And so the outfit, they made maybe two, I think. And one is black and it's got like a red dragon gimmick, and the other one has like a silver gimmick. And what I ended up doing was wearing the outfits that they made on the live events, the house shows where there wasn't a camera in the building, and that way I could wear it and rinse it out and wear it 3 times a week. Whereas my airbrushed outfits, they fade every single time I wear them. Like, you wear it once, it already doesn't look brand new anymore, and then it just goes downhill from there. So I would save my airbrush outfits just to wear on TV, and then I would wear the WWE thicker custom-made outfits for all of the non-televised shows, and that's what I did, and I still have those outfits.
Nice. Yeah, those are pretty cool. They're different, obviously, from what you're wearing, but like I saw photos of you wearing the Silver Dragon one, and I was like, that's still pretty cool. But yeah, definitely not your signature RVD singlets either at the same time. But good idea to wear them during the house shows though, and kind of preserve your airbrush ones.
Yeah, that's what I did, and for nothing else, I'm looking at a wall full of action figures that wouldn't have been able to have been made if I just wore that one outfit that they made.
Right? So, like, think of all the variant figures that you got because of that, like, because of your variety that you had. So.
That's one thing. Like, yeah, there's several reasons, that I made that decision, but hey, I always had to do it my way.
Yeah, absolutely. Back to the tire picking question. I'm kind of a little bit surprised because I would think sometimes though, like you wouldn't want 2 wrestlers that are wrestling each other wearing like red trunks at the same time. Like, I'd almost think that maybe they would try to coordinate some of that so there wouldn't be a blend of that where it's just kind of, those guys, both those guys are wearing black trunks and it's hard to tell what's going on too much. But
a lot of times in the dressing room, one wrestler will look over at someone and go, "Dude, that's what you're wearing tonight? I was gonna wear green. I guess I'll have to."
Okay.
Then it happens.
Yeah. So it'd be kind of like self-management kind of thing where it'd be like, "Oh, okay, well, I'm gonna wear this instead, maybe," or whatever, if you have that. Frankie, re-email me again your address because I must have overlooked it or didn't see your email. If you did that. Speaking of Frankie, you did ask a question here. Let me find it. Frankie Terrizzo with the $2. Which ECW guys were the life of the party, Rob?
Well, it depends on which party you wanted to go to. In the ECW days, the boys were pretty much segregated by drug of choice, and that's how it was. After the matches, there was a room for the boys that like to do coke, and boom, it'd be those boys. They'd be there hanging out, same guys all the time. Another room for the guys that like to do weed, and that would be, where you would see me every time. That's my fucking clique. They'd be the drinkers, which would be at the bar until the bar closed, and then trying to sneak out 5 beers in his pockets to take it to the room or whatever. And but that would be that's how it was. And the pot smoking clique is, let's say, the more mellow people. So we're not. If you're too light for the party, then fucking you're in the wrong room. So,
Right. Who was part of the core pot smoking clique? Would you say you, Sabu? Who else would be up in that mix, Rob?
Well, Pee Wee the referee, always, and it would be also Tracy Smothers, and Tracy Smothers would take her shirt off and have it just sitting right beside him, whether he was in a car or whether he was in the hotel room or whatever. He would take his shirt off, and so that his girlfriend wouldn't smell the weed on his shirt. And I'm like, you don't think it's gonna get right next to you, dude? Like you got your shirt in your lap, and we're in a car, bro. Like, wait, I mean, you're not even putting it outside or whatever. But little Guido, but I'm not sure how comfortable little Guido would be with me telling it, because he was paranoid. He was always the one who was always like looking around and stuff when we're smoking, and I could tell, like, he just wait till I gets to him one more time, and then we're not gonna see him again. And then a few minutes later, you look around, hey, where'd Gwiz go? Huh? I don't know. He was just right here. Where'd he go? He would do the Irish goodbye every time, and that was something that was funny about him. He'd be paranoid, and then boom, after he smoked enough, he left ahead of the gang without saying goodbye every time. Mustafa liked to smoke.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's see. Who am I leaving out? Am I leaving out anybody? I don't know. I guess that's of the original ECW clique. Sandman also. But Sandman could make his rounds in all the mentioned rooms, though.
Yeah, he was a chameleon.
Yeah, and he would make his rounds to all those rooms.
All the rooms. That's great. Good question, Frankie. Let me see. Mitch Monford. Let me try to pull this one up here. Jumping around a little bit. Thank you for the $5. He says, hello again from the BBSC. Where's the BBSC, Michael?
Big Buds.
The Big Bud Smoker Club. That's right.
That's
right. Thank you, Rob. Your cards are still waiting, LL, but much love and thank you for the shout out last week. You're welcome, Michael. Thank you again. Big Bud Smoker Club. Check it out, everybody. Carter Gilman, 7922. Thank you for the $5. Ooh, okay. It's my girlfriend Allison's birthday. Can she get a happy birthday from her favorite wrestler? Wow. I want to wish Allison a happy birthday.
Yeah, as long as it's me, that's the only one I can guarantee right now.
Yeah, that's it. All right. I guess you're it, Rob.
Happy birthday, Allison. You feel me? I hope you do.
Nice. Carter, you and your girlfriend are in the raffle for one, and so is Michael Montford. Let me add you real quick. Carter. Michael Montford. Michael M. Put you in. All right. Maddie says Scotty doesn't know. Ask Scotty Riggs the Van Terminator. Yeah, Scotty was the first guy to take the Van Terminator, right, Rob?
He was the first one to take it during a match. I did do it once before to try it, just to see if I was crazy for thinking, because I could see it in my mind, you know, and we were, some building that we were at had a ring in the back, I guess. It's either that or we were just really early in the daytime, but it seemed like there was a ring in the back, and so I actually asked Roadkill to lay there in the corner for me. I wanted to try something and see if I could clear the ring. And what's so crazy is it's just like, you know, now everybody does it, but back then, like, nobody thought of it, you know, like, or thought it was possible. And I was just like, yeah, I think I can fucking jump across the whole ring. You're gonna go from there? You're gonna clear the whole fucking ring and drop kick a chair? And I was like, yeah. You mind if I? So I did it to Roadkill. Boom. In the daytime one time, and then Scotty Riggs is the first one that took it during a match, and also the first one, I believe, whose nose I broke doing a Van Terminator, because I don't think I broke Roadkill's nose. If I did, sorry, Roadkill, I don't remember, but I don't think I did.
Man, how about that? That's some fun facts going on there. I'm gonna have to do like a little trivia thing on socials this week or something. What was I gonna say?
Nose. And that was in LA, and that was so fucking. You know what? That was another moment. I've had some pretty damn good moments in my career, you know. And everyone talks about the Cena ECW, where that was the best, obviously. But what a cool moment that was in California for the first and only time. I was trying to think of the name of the pay-per-view, but it doesn't really matter. But anyway, nobody knew what the Van Terminator was. It was just a hyped up move, and nobody even knew what to expect. I was just like, after I hit you with the Van Daminator, after I hit you with a 5-star frog splash, I'm going to hit you with the Van Terminator, Scotty Anton. You deserve it like nobody. And anyway, people were like, Terminator. They were all cheering for it and had no idea what the fuck it was going to be, you know. And so, boom, it says, you know, Scotty's laying there, knocked out in the fucking corner. I guess I had Fonzie holding the chair. And I'm way over here in the apron, and I'm looking, you know, fucking looking at the people like, are you putting this together? You guys know what I'm about to do, right? You guys ready? Ready? Fucking springboard, boom. And it was just like, you know, huge fucking pop. They'd never seen anything like that. Nowadays, you do that in wrestling school, and then you fucking, you know, fuck it up during a match because it's not your realm, because you're a girl and you shouldn't be doing it. And then that's what happened. But anyway, that was a good moment.
Yeah, that was an awesome moment. I've said this several times on the show, but when I first saw that, it completely blew my mind because I didn't think it was possible. Like as a kid, I'm like, holy shit, that's amazing. I've never seen anybody do that ever. And I didn't think anybody else could do it too. And obviously Shane did it later on, but like it wasn't as good as yours. There's no way it was.
Oh, shucks. You don't have to say that.
I'm saying it, Rob. I'm saying it because it's true. A wrestling historian. You're in the raffle for one Canadian $5, eh? He says, if you hadn't gotten injured in 2005, were you supposed to wrestle Rhino at One Night Stand, or did you have a different opponent in mind? Thank you. Yeah, what would have been your game plan if you were healthy for the first One Night Stand, Rob?
Oh, that's a very good question.
Yeah.
It seems like that would be the logical right answer, but I totally don't remember.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. Boy, that's a good question, wrestling historian.
And if I
like
was going to wrestle Rhino, I wonder what Sabu was going to do.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of Sabu, Rob, it's 30 years to the day since you and Sabu wrestled at, I believe, wait, it's not a video. Is it? Yes, it was, oh my gosh, what the name of the pay-per-view? Hardcore Heaven. Thank you. Hardcore Heaven. Your best of 3 matches, this happened. And this was the 3rd match that Sabu won, but you guys both left on stretchers.
He didn't beat me.
I did. That's what I read on beforehand. Okay. Am I wrong on that?
It sounded like something Sabu would say.
Oh, he didn't beat me. But how cool was that for you back in the early 90s, mid 90s here, when you're kind of still getting your sea legs from ECW a little bit, just to work with Sabu for that kind of trilogy of a match? Kind of good stuff there to just catapult you off more into stardom.
Yeah, great way to bring me in. Nobody, there would be nobody that would be a better opponent for me if that's what you were looking to do, was to bring me in the right way. I've often said throughout my career that I think it seems like that Paul Heyman was really the only producer, agent, office guy that had my best interests in mind. And I'm very grateful that he did. But during other times when other people were making decisions and stuff, I don't think anybody was thinking, what's the most we can get out of RVD? Like Paul was that. And it's because of that I was allowed and given, the opportunity to show what I did show, because without him fighting for what was right a lot of times, I think I could have just gotten buried in indifference.
Yeah, I think that's was one of Paul Heyman's big strengths. I mean, he's such a great promoter in the first place, but and a mind for the business. But he played to your guys' strengths, what you were great at, and knew what you excelled at greatly, and put that on a bigger platform. I think a neat kind of way to think about that too is putting the television title on you and letting you run with it and go with it, and then build that title up and make it almost feel as big, make it feel like a bigger deal than the ECW title most times too, I think, in a lot of ways. And so you had that kind of, and that was a great way to build you up as a big star too, because you defined the ECW television title. I think it's good stuff. So.
And at the same time, for another wrestler to be in my shoes in this exact same conversation, what kind of an ego would it take to be like, dude, I'm right here and they're totally missing the boat. Who am I to say, that they should be prioritizing with doing the right thing for RVD to get RVD over, when in fact that's not priority to them. It takes somebody that believes in themselves enough to even make up for half the room not believing in them, so that they can continue to get forward in situations like that, and just by convincing everybody that that's the right thing to do and that they're the right person to go with, and really, I don't think I could take myself that seriously, or let's say not naturally anyway.
Yeah, but you still go were confident in your abilities and knew that you had the talent to be a star and stuff like that. But you need somebody to help harness that a little bit too, and put you in the right position for that too at the same time, because at the same time too, you want to channel your own ego in the right direction and make sure you're using it and not using it to your detriment, backstage or whatever. You're using it hopefully in the ring, you know what I mean?
even like let's say you don't give me the hardcore title match, and then I never even have the hardcore title. Well, there goes months of me elongating my ECW run in my head. You know what I mean? By being able to feel like this is my realm, this is where I excel, this is where I feel like I'm not only best utilized, but also where I can do my best. However, so, but boom, that's just someone's decision, like, what if instead, let's put it on Crash Alley.
Yeah.
Well, that's all it takes. That's what I'm saying, how much control do I have over that? Because I feel like none.
Yeah, you really don't ultimately, like, unless you're you're your own promoter. Unless you're like Vern Gagne or something. Jim D, thanks for the $10 again. So you're in the raffle 4 times, Jim D. Congrats.
Oh,
he said, yeah. LOL. Not sure how to word this question, but here it goes. Cena, Sting, HBK. These 3 seem to possess a different energy from the rest. To me, it seems like their lung capacity are larger. So you maybe are you asking this then, Jim? Do you think they have like a better endurance or lung capacity than others? Like a Cena, a Sting, and endurance? That's what I'm kind of confused about. These 3 seem to possess a different energy from the rest. To me, it seems like their lung capacity are larger. I'm not sure of the question, Jim.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too, but I will say lung capacity is very important.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
How do you...
It's a horrible feeling to get winded, or as we say in the wrestling business, blown up. I still remember when Sabu told me and Dango that, like, in like 1990, we were at a dinner table, and he was like, in the wrestling business, you know how like you get like you get like out of breath. We say they call it blown up. Me and Dan go like, "Hey, I'm blown up." We're just so stupid, and that's how we were. We were like little kids, always like pissing Sabu off. Idiots. We really were. But and then he said also, if you're like eat too much and you're like really full, then you're blown up too. That's a horrible feeling because it's a feeling of vulnerability, and I hate feeling vulnerable. And a lot of people that aren't wrestlers, that are just fans that fantasize about it, probably don't know why it would suck so bad to feel vulnerable when you're out there, because they don't get that there is actual level of competition, and you got to believe in yourself for other people to believe in you. And the last thing you want is to be a pussy and have everyone see right through it and see through you.
Yeah.
They're not going to get that. They're not going to, but it really is a part of it. And it's just, man, I've been from being jet lagged and traveling and then going like right to the ring in Japan. I just remember one time, like, felt like almost like I was having a heart attack. I was just like, I was like stuck on the mat, and my legs felt so heavy, and I just felt like I was like slithering, trying to even like crawl up to my feet. And I just remember thinking like, oh my God, like I don't know if I can go 5 minutes without dying. And while the other Japanese dude is loving it, like bam, 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 dancing around me and shit, throwing me into the ropes, and shit. And I'm like, oh motherfucker. Like just that happen like once every fucking 10 years or so was plenty enough to do everything in my power to make it so it doesn't happen again. You know what I mean? Because it sucks. But besides being conditioned, burpees, I would say burpees are the best exercise to do just for wrestling, because you're always pulling your ass up off the mat, and getting to your feet and stuff. And it's a great way to do cardio, is to do a shitload of burpees. You can do them in your sauna. And anyway, besides cardio, also, I have always stretched my lungs, and I'm the only one that I know that does that. And a few years ago, I was walking through the dressing room and I saw Randy Orton doing like, and I was going, hey, that's my thing. And he goes, I know, you're the one that taught me. And I was like, oh, okay, because I never see anybody do that. But I do remember, when I wrestled him, like, telling him about that. But it's something I learned in 6th grade. Something Mr. Morris taught us about these breath holding contests, and how people that live way up in the mountains can hold their breath longer because there's less oxygen up there, and so they're conditioned different. And he was saying how they would like breathe in, and like really like a balloon, like you want to stretch the balloon out a couple times, before you do the one where you're going to hold it all in and shit. And so anyway, that's always been something that I do in my regular pre-match process as well. But I don't know what the fuck dude's talking about as far as Cena and, maybe if he means it literally, then that must be what it is. I knew there was something about those guys.
Yeah, like, I mean, if you think about energy when it comes to wrestling and stuff like that, they certainly possess a different one that the fans were able to get behind and get attracted to, because they're such unique personalities and stuff. So in that regard, they have a different energy for sure. And yeah, I'm sure HBK had good lungs, and so did Cena for all the wrestling that they've done too. Frankie Torizo asks you this, Rob. What are your thoughts on steroids in wrestling?
They don't exist. They never did.
Never.
I think that people are trained to look at steroids as cheating somehow, but there's no contest in life. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's just life, and so like sometimes they'll say it's just a shortcut, and with enough hard work you can get there. It'll just take longer. I don't believe that at all. I think steroids definitely take you to somewhere that you wouldn't have been able to get to naturally, and I think the bodybuilding community is evidence of that. When you look at them. Nowadays, there is what's called TRT, which is totally acceptable. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry is getting TRT, and they don't look at it as doing steroids, but in fact, it's like the exact same thing. The difference is, just like mushrooms are cool now as long as you're microdosing. As long as you use the word microdosing, everything is okay now. And in fact, I know people that do mushrooms, they eat a shitload of them and still call it microdosing and don't even know what the fuck the term means. But anyway, with TRT, that is testosterone replacement therapy, and it's about replacing the testosterone that has been lost over time with age and restoring your levels to a normal level that you would have been without the losses and stuff. So in that respect, that's different than steroids, where you can take massive amounts if that's your goal or whatever. But they've always been around. I did reports on it in school, like in World War II, Hitler was using it to give his soldiers to make them more aggressive. And then there was a big scandal in the Olympics. There was a guy named Ben Johnson, and he was a track star. And he got arrested, and he had something called Winstrol. And that's where steroids kind of broke into my world. I think I'm in I don't know, 9th grade, 8th, 9th, 10th grade, somewhere around there in school. And like we're all learning about this, and ooh, he cheated. He had to get his awards, trophies, whatever, taken back from him and stuff, and it was a disgrace. And then the more I look into it, the more I realize that's a very common occurrence. It happens all the time, and so I look at it like it's just a personal choice. You know, if people, whether they're wrestlers or whether they're just normal gym rats, or whether they're even just interested in overall health and they're not necessarily even weightlifters. You know, I think it's just personal choice. And there's steroids also, by the way, are both androgenic, which build your muscle, and then they're also well, they're anti-inflammatory. There might be a better word for it, and that's like cortisone and prednisone and different steroids like that. Sometimes they're great. I was out for a whole year in 2005 to 2006 because I had to have knee surgery.
Yeah.
My ACL was completely snapped. My medial meniscus was torn, and I had to get that reconstructed. I was out for a full 12 months. And as soon as I came back, it was like one of the first or second week that I was back, I did something, and my other knee fucking popped. And it felt very similar to the way that the other one did. In my mind, I was panicking, and I was thinking I just fucked up my other knee. Oh my God, I went from thinking I was invincible to being a fucking piece of paper. What the fuck's going on? Like I can't believe I snapped it. Like I couldn't bend it and I couldn't straighten it. And I was like, fuck, you know, and I didn't want anyone to know. But when I got to the building the next day, I remember carrying my bag in and trying to fake my walk. And I was having such a hard time not giving away because I couldn't straighten or bend my leg. It was just stuck. And I was like walking really slow. And I walked by the doctor, and the doctor said, "You feeling all right, Rob? You're walking funny." And I was like, fuck, you know, and I went in there and I told him, I'm like, fuck, man, I think I just you know, tore my ACL on my other leg. And he goes, what? And he goes, yeah, let me see. And he was like checking me out. And I was just like going, oh my God, I'm a fucking idiot. I can't believe like that's going to be my story. I come back from a fucking year. Like, what is going on? He goes, you know, touch your heel up to your ass, you know, if you can. And, you know, I couldn't. I'm like halfway trying to bend it up. You know, that's as far as I can go. He gave me a shot of cortisone. It might have been, actually, it might have been, it was either cortisone. Fuck, now that I think about it, it might have been, there was another one, began with a T, that was very much like cortisone that we used to.
Oh, I just heard the term.
Tortoise.
Yeah, you're close. It sounds like that.
I think it was Torto. Anyway, he gave me that shot, and I don't know if we waited like 1 minute maybe, and I was like, man, I'm, you know, even if this shot works, it's just going to mask the pain, and then I'm going to be fucked up after it wears off, right? He goes, I don't know. He goes, I think you'll be all right. I go, what do you mean all right? And he goes, here, touch your heel to your ass now. And my heel went like straight up to my ass, like no problem, just like boom. And I was like, dude, what the fuck? And he goes, walk around a little bit. I walked around. He just gave me surgery in a fucking syringe.
Wow.
The best shot ever. And obviously I panicked and I had not torn my ACL or whatever, but that Toradol shot fucking fixed me. And I was like, so do I need to be careful now and like, you know, like brace it or take it easy? He goes, no, you're good to go. You're fine.
How was he able to diagnose too that quick that you didn't tear your ACL though? or was that just?
If the shot didn't work, we probably would have gone the next.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess so.
That would have escalated the issue, but I mean, it took like a minute, maybe, and it was just fucking. I'm moving my knee, just like, just like no problem, and I couldn't do that at all. Couldn't move it at all. Just 60 seconds ago. So anyway,
Man, what a relief.
Yeah. But then I've had cortisone shots in my back that did nothing for me. So, it depends on the location of the body, and who knows what else.
Wow, man, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, I know. I've heard NFL players talk about taking that kind of the tortoise stuff too, and how it kind of helps them and everything too. So that's pretty wild. Triple E, he asks this. Thanks for the $5. You're in the raffle. You're in the raffle for 2, Triple E. You got to remind me of your other question though, because it didn't pop up. Y'all listen to the Sandman podcast, their episode today, tribute to Nancy Benoit. Yeah, it's the horrible anniversary of what Nancy Benoit losing her life to Chris and all that stuff. That happened today too.
Today, exactly. It's the day after Father's Day.
I don't know if it lined up to that, but yeah, I guess it did because I remember Raw being on that day. I think it was the day after. I don't know if Father's Day fell upon that though necessarily.
Right,
yeah, but yeah, wow, crazy. That shook me pretty bad as a fan, big time. It shook me pretty bad, and with OCD. Mm-hmm. So yeah, sad stuff back then. R.I.P. Michael Montford again. He says, "How did you perfect the frog splash? No one can do it better. Only one is Eddie, but his was more technical. Yours was more intentional with flash." Ooh, that's a good way to put it. How did you perfect the frog splash, Rob?
Well, so I used to do a splash off the top rope, and when I would be in the air, I would arch back and do like a really pretty, in my opinion, like bridge, right? And it was like, like when I do a cross body, I do that. I bridge, and then come down. And when I come down from a bridge, it has a lot of extra momentum of folding from back here to here. And I had a match with Stevie Richards when I first got to ECW. It was a stiff match. We both got hurt, and they were both my fault. I kicked Stevie and broke his orbital bone. I think that was it. Yeah. And in the same match, I did that splash, and when I came down and slammed the mat, I broke my own wrist. And so after that, I had to adjust because now I got a cast on for a couple of weeks till it broke off and in a match, and then I just said, fuck it, Sabu style. But so to protect myself and to adjust what I did for the frog splash, instead of bridging back, I turned it into, like crunching forward and trying to throw my hip up to get the most height at the peak of the jump, and then I didn't have to slam my hands down, with all the weight and impact that I did from before. So that became the 5-star frog splash, and then I just started being able to turn, and then I started going for the furthest corner possible, and just to have fun and challenge myself. A lot of times I would go for the furthest corner and spin. And then, I felt like out of all my moves, to use a top rope splash is maybe the least original. I mean, I'm doing moves that we haven't seen anyone else do. Like we talked about the Van Terminator, Van Daminator, split-legged moonsault. Any of these but now I'm doing the same move I used to watch Tonga Kid do or Jimmy Snuka do or whatever, like, but to make it special, I tried to get the most height, go, like I said, spin 180 degrees this way, 180 degrees this way, and just kind of made it my own through that action.
Yeah, but it's so cool too how different yours was in comparison to Eddie Guerrero's, and then even D'Lo Brown's was different than your guys' too. And it's just like, but yours, I liked it always when you would hit it, you'd always like hold your stomach, like, oh shit, that hurt me too. But the pain's worth the reward on that one, and that was a neat aspect to yours too. I always liked. So
I know I told this story once before, but maybe a lot of people might not have heard this, but when I was training still, so this is going to be 1990, when Sheik is sick, and we had the ring set up in Sabu's backyard for several months, and Sabu would work out whenever we would want to drive to Lansing. He'd be there for us. And one time, first off, he set the ring up, and it's steel cable, not nylon rope. And he had that so hard. I remember the first day when we were there, you would run into the ropes, and then when you hit the ropes, you would just stop because it was so tight. It was like running into like 3 metal pipes, and it just hurt so bad. Like it hurt your ribs, and you had to loosen a little bit just for it to be able to bounce and shoot you across the ring. Because at first it would just be oh, and then you got to start your momentum up again and start running. But we could fly off that top rope, which we did. But one time when I was there, Sabu says, go down there in front of the ring in his yard, because I want you to stand down there, and I'm gonna dive through the ropes at you, and I want you to move. And I'm like, well, what do you need me for? He goes, I want you there so that so I got something to aim for. But just wait and then move. I want to make sure that I don't chicken out and try and break my fall and fuck it up. And I'm like, you're gonna hurt yourself. And he goes, I just stand there. Like, I don't want to do that, because I already knew at that point. I already knew him well enough to know he liked hurting himself, and was it did that. And I'm like, this isn't a good idea, man. And he goes, will you just stand there? And I said, and you're gonna dive through the ropes or over the rope? And he goes, I'm gonna dive through them, like under the top rope. And I'm like, and then when I move, you want to make sure that you land on your ribs and hurt yourself. And he goes, yeah, I just want to make sure I don't chicken out. Because if I chicken out here, then I would chicken out in front of people for sure. And I'm like, okay, and I stood there, and he bounced off the ropes, he ran, and he dove, and I moved, and he didn't chicken out, and he took the bump all the way on his ribs. And he's like rolling around and shit. This is 1990, and he was already beating himself up so bad. Yeah.
Wow. I thought when you were telling the story, I thought, oh man, there's a science behind it. Sabu's got a plan or something, but no, he just wanted to do it.
Yeah. He wanted to make sure that he stayed open the whole time, because that's the way that he should sell it.
Wow, how about that? That's wild. Holy smokes. Shout out to Sabu. Awesome stuff. Maddie, thanks for the Australian $5, mate. He says, was it ever surreal hanging out with Hogan and Warrior? Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
I bet.
Yeah, it was definitely different than hanging out with someone else, someone that I didn't look up to so much. Dude, yeah, surreal. Kinda, yeah. I mean, it's it's uh it's it's a crazy life, you know. Both of those guys, not just hanging out with them, you know, but some of the respect that they gave me, and comments that they gave me about my work, or whatever, that that's kind of surreal because of who they are, you know, and not just because of who they were to me, but who they are to everybody. You know, I've always said I think Hulk Hogan's probably the most recognizable man on the planet, as far as I know. I mean, shit, he definitely would have to be in contention with some with very few people. I don't know, but and you know, um, just knowing full circle that I looked up to them, and that, you know, they inspired me so much, and then that I reached a level, you know, to where they uh, thought highly of my work abilities, that they lit the fuse for. I could call that surreal.
Absolutely, right? It's just like, yeah, you think about what they did for the business in so many ways, but then at the same time too, it's like, yeah, what you're saying with like I always think about that story where you told about the Warrior, how he noticed you like in your early days in Vegas, and then he remembered you like throughout that whole process too, and kind of kept tabs on your career, which that blew my mind to know that, like, because the Warrior just from the surface perspective, he was like he was there and then he was gone. So I didn't think he would kind of keep tabs on it when he was out of wrestling. But sure enough, he was keeping tabs on you, which I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, amazing. And I would never know unless his wife told me, because, yeah, you know, he wouldn't have the chance to tell me.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, we got some good super chats here too. They keep on cooking. This is a good one for Seth. This is a question I want to ask you too. He asked you, thanks for the $5, Seth. You're in the raffle. He says, is there any biological cost to taking TRT? I just turned 50. I'm considering it, but will the testosterone thin out my hair? Oh, that's a good question. What do you think about him taking TRT at that age too, Rob?
Any biological cost to take it? Oh, it might. Yeah, it might thin your hair out. It's possible. People are definitely circumstantial when it comes to reacting to stuff like that. You know what I mean? Um, can't say. So there's some risk. I think that you should do research on it. You know, ask AI, ask several resources. You know, and just decide if the risks are worth it for you or not. One of the places you get them is at like these anti-aging clinics, and they sell it as a total better quality of life. You know, like for years, people who are like massive in the gym, they talk about saying like their nuts like shrank up and are inside of them, or something. But with the TRT, they say that, you know, it actually enhances your sex life and your libido. And whereas they say, you know, that doing steroids is bad for your heart, when you go to the doctor for TRT, he's going to say that it's actually that actually lowers your chance of getting heart disease, and that it's good for your cardiovascular system. And so, like, everything that they said before about the maybe it could be called abuse, you know, which, you know, there's use and then abuse. You know, maybe I don't know where you draw the line, but some of the guys that are like rah, you know, like the amounts that some of those guys take could, you know, a lot of I think doctors would consider those abusive amounts, but anyway, compared to the TRT, that they're going to say that it gives you clarity and helps you live longer and feel younger and restore your everything, your skin, like everything. So I would just say, like, look into it and definitely check, a lot more than just one source. And then, either way, I ain't gonna judge you.
Yeah.
It's very acceptable now. Like everyone. I mean, it's very, very acceptable with not just pro athletes, but with just people in general. You probably, everyone listening to this, you probably see those anti-aging clinics that have popped up everywhere, and a lot of them are the same ones that sell you peptides.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was gonna ask about like just taking peptides instead of TRT. Like, would that just be beneficial to do too, Rob? Is just peptides strictly?
Well, it's all personal choice. You know what I mean? Like if it's super important to you and you're someone like, I mean, if you're someone that, you want to look like Alex Hammerstone, you know that guy?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, I like Alex a lot.
Me too. I like following him on Instagram. He's fucking funny. But I mean, he seems to take like an entire, kitchen full of stuff. He probably takes a bunch of peptides. He's always talking about roids trend, which I don't know anything about, but I know that a lot of the guys that are really big like to joke about it, and seems to be part of their thing. But anyway, you say, what about taking this instead of that? I think it just depends on you and how important it is to you. And if you want to take it all, then I would think the more that's your lifestyle, the more of it you'd want to take. The peptide that would raise your testosterone level would not be most of them. It would actually be HCG, which I don't think is technically a peptide. I think it's a hormone. But that's something that bodybuilders take if they cycle off of stuff, they take that. Or if you're trying to get your wife pregnant, the doctor will tell you to take HCG. But a lot of it, is just different. So that's like saying, why not tell your pituitary gland to produce optimum growth hormone instead of raising your testosterone levels to healthy levels? Why not both?
Yeah. I asked that too because I know a couple people that are like in their late 30s and almost turning 40 and stuff like that. They're kind of considering taking tea and stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't know. Do you necessarily need to do it? You're already in good shape, and I don't. So it's like I just don't know how to feel about it. It's such a foreign kind of land to me that I just don't know. But it's interesting.
It's all about fighting age. You know what I mean? And so man, if you ever see any of the commercials about like, here's one 70-year-old, and it's this guy in a wheelchair, with oxygen, and they say, and then here's a 70-year-old, and it's like DDP, you know what I mean? Fucking holding his foot up, like going, hey, and it's like, which one would you rather be? Which life would you rather have? Which one looks like it would be more comfortable, living in which body? And it's like, to an extent, you got to look at it like that. I don't think there's any one magic thing that's going to do it for you. I think it's a healthy lifestyle. But
that's primarily it, right? Yeah.
This can be part. Any of this can be part of it if it's important enough to you. I love taking peptides. I love the science of peptides. My algorithm, everything lately has been saying that it's all about the mitochondria now, which is your fucking cells and the energy for your cells that depletes the older that you get. and they're saying that like with peptides, especially BPC 157, they're saying that if you don't take this one thing called urolithin A to recondition your mitochondria, then you're not going to get the right results from the peptides. But if you take this and this, especially if you're older than 35, then you can get like twice the results. And it's like it came at me like so many directions that I'm like, fuck it, I gotta try it. But there's a lot of, there's also MOTS-C everyone's talking about, and even NAD plus. It all seems to be about the mitochondria. Like that's what everything. Like if you don't get that shit right, nothing's gonna work for you anyway. You're wasting your time and money. But it's all about anti-aging, and so I get it. Like you're saying, do your friends need it because they're already so old and they made it that far without it? But for some, they just want a healthier glow in their skin or something like that, and it means a lot to them. So that's why I think it's just personal choice for everyone.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. I remember, where were we? Nashville? It might have been. No, it wasn't Nashville. It was some other city. But you were at the WrestleCon thing, and you were chatting with Matt Hardy about peptides, and I was listening to both of you talk about it, and I was like, it's almost like they're speaking Carney. I don't know what they're saying at all. Seth follows up with the $5. Thanks, Seth. By the way, guys, he's the guy that writes our theme song, so shout out to Seth. Check it out. A little higher. It's on Spotify. You can check it out and download it. He says, Benoit is still my second favorite wrestler. I separate the art from the artist. Sucks how he went out, but that doesn't change how good he was. Crossface. Hashtag crossface.
Oh, that means Seth is a devil worshiper.
Uh-oh. No, it's a tough thing to separate art from artists, and it kind of subjective to a lot of things too, I think. But how do you feel about that, Rob?
But what do you mean subjective?
I think it kind of depends. So, for example, when it's a musical artist, I don't know, like I connect with music in a different manner than I connect with like how I watch wrestling or something like that. So I connect when I hear a song or something that resonates with me. A songwriter does like write something that I think.
You hear an R. Kelly song, what do you think of?
Oh God, I think of him peeing on people.
Okay.
That's what I think about. Yeah. But yeah, so it's like I connect on a different, I guess in that way I do, and I can sometimes separate the art from the artist. But if they speak to me from a lyrical standpoint, it's kind of tougher for me to do. When it comes to wrestling, it is tough to separate the art from the artist, I think, just for me personally. But I do kind of think does that kind of make sense, Rob, or does that not make any sense?
I mean, I think you have to separate the artist from the person, or from the art.
Separate.
Here's how I feel about it. Chris Benoit was a great wrestler. He definitely was. He's one of the guys that really took it seriously, and a guy that was definitely not substandard by anybody's values. So I looked up to him for that. I respected his wrestling ability. And so if that's what the conversation is about, then that's how I feel,
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it too, because I liked him a lot as a wrestler. He was one of my top, to Seth's point, he was probably one of my top 5 favorite wrestlers around that time, especially too. And when it happened, it was, oh my gosh, it was horrible, obviously, what he did.
Yeah, there's no need to even ask how you feel about that. We all feel the same about that.
Right. But no, he was very talented, and I liked his aggressiveness in the ring and stuff like that. And what he delivered in the ring too was really, really good.
He was so strong. Yeah, like he was so muscular and like looked so fucking strong. It was very believable that he would be able to fucking hold on to Big Show's neck and be able to fucking pull him over the top rope and win the Battle Royal.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think too, it's like for somebody like I'm on the shorter side, so seeing a guy like his size kind of be a little bit smaller in stature, but still be able to convey like that power in the ring was really neat to see too. And so and I loved his matches with Booker T and WCW. They were great. They were awesome series that they did for sure too. So good question, Seth, or good statement on there. Maddie, thanks for the $2. He just says this is like a legends class. All the knowledge. We're learning a lot. Learning a lot today.
Cool, just like every week.
Just like every week, indeed. Josh, I want to make sure I don't know if you asked the second question here. You must have asked a couple questions. Let me make sure I get your first one if I didn't yet. I might have clicked on it. Here we go. This is Josh Kahn's first question here. He says, I started martial arts as a kid. I loved watching you wrestle with your martial arts moves added. I respected you the older I got. I'm 36 now. So he just respects the martial arts work that you put into your wrestling acumen, Rob.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool,
Thank
man.
You,
I appreciate that, and glad to inspire. I got a lot of both doggies are here with me. I got a lot of people that tell me I got them into martial arts and stuff, and that's really cool because that's a great gift to give somebody if you look at it that way. Martial arts are awesome.
Yeah, no doubt they are. And that is pretty cool. Like, I never really thought about that, Rob, that like I would imagine people got into wrestling because of you, but martial arts is another aspect, and that's kind of got to be rewarding in its own right for sure. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if they're going to make it in wrestling or not, but chances are they're going to pick some things up in martial arts that's going to help them in life. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like that's where if you want RVD's advice, I say you should learn how to defend yourself just in case you ever have to defend yourself. But you can't go around being Mr. Tough Guy, like wanting to punch somebody. You know, you can't do that. There's cameras everywhere. Plus, there's consequences. You know, like somebody falls, hits their head on the cement, they could die. If you don't think they're going to die, hey, they could be in a coma. But it happens all the time. And man, I love. I watch fights like street fights a lot of times on Instagram. I follow a lot of those. I love karma. I love when the guy that really insists that he has to fight because he's so fucking tough. You know, he's, come on, motherfucker. Come on, man. Me and you, let's go. No, you know, like that guy. I love when the guy that insists, you know, we're going to fight because I'm going to kick your ass. I love when that guy gets tapped on the chin and goes to sleep. You know,
Yeah.
Love it. It's just karma. And man, you don't want to be that guy. And you know, you shouldn't want to fight. Someone's going to get hurt. Someone's going to get shot. Maybe someone's going to get arrested. Someone's going to get sued. You know, which, by the way, I feel like if I sued somebody that I would look like a pussy just because of who I am. Like that would be a pussy move. You know?
Yeah, no, I could understand that thought too. Sure. It's just like, oh yeah, I'm suing you because you did all this, right? It's like takes away like your reputation of what you're known for and stuff.
Right, yeah. So, you know, I can't imagine doing that myself. But people, but obviously I'm a target and people are definitely going to sue me. And
Yeah.
If somebody thinks they have a case because there's cameras everywhere and they got you assaulting them, then guess what? Then you're fucked and you don't need that. But if you know how to defend yourself and you just use it when you have to because there's somebody attacking that won't stop and the time is right, and you're fucking probably saving a bunch of people from this asshole that's going around causing problems. But anyway, that's what that's what I think, and it's probably a surprise, or not a surprise, because you listen to my podcast, but you could say it's hypocritical because of what I do, or because of me being a wrestler or whatever. But that's it. Martial arts provides a controlled environment so you can test yourself. You can put your skills and knowledge up against somebody else that wants to test themselves, and it's in a controlled environment where you don't have to worry about somebody losing an eye or dying as much, so that's why I think it's a good thing, and that's why I think that martial arts should be good for everybody.
What martial arts practice would you recommend for people that would want to just learn the ability to defend themselves in a fight or anything like that? Is there a certain one that best showcases that than others?
Well, I would say almost any of them are good, but that's not true, because you don't want to fucking be dancing around them and shit like that.
Capoeira.
If you know, yeah, right. If you, but yeah, if you're really good at like Krav Maga, you can handle yourself. Same thing with Kaju Kenbo. If you are skilled in that, then you can be confident out on the street and feel like chances are you're not going to be in too much danger. You never know for sure, but chances are, and that's all it's about. It's just putting chances on your side.
Absolutely, interesting. I like that stuff. Okay, Josh, your second question here. You didn't actually have to ask a question. All you had to do is do a super chat. You were entered in the raffle, but you're in the raffle 2 times. Just realized I got to ask a question for the raffle. Was there a language barrier when planning out those awesome matches with Tajiri? Yeah, working with Tajiri, Rob. How was navigating that language barrier? Obviously, you're in All Japan too, so you had to deal with some of that.
Yeah, Tajiri speaks pretty good English, and I know how to speak Japanese wrestling, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
Like I'm used to talking to them, so I know how to break it down and how to. Katie noticed that we got a friend Sato that was over here. Or I don't know, maybe I think he was when we lived in LA, but he was visiting. Sato is friends with everybody, including Hulk Hogan. He used to go to Florida and stay at Hulk Hogan's, and go to LA and stay at RVD's. And good guy, Sato. But when Katie first met him, she would talk to him, and she would just be like, she would just say, she would talk to him like he's a normal dude. She would be like, so did you rent a car that you're going to be driving when you're staying here in town? He'd be like, what? And I'm like, no, baby, you can't talk to him like that. Sato, you rent car? Oh, yes. And I say,
just simplify it a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm used to it. I've been going there since 93. I've been there 22 times or 23 times to Japan. And so definitely, I can definitely speak with Tajiri, no problem. But Tajiri's one of those guys that when they're in the States working for one of our companies, for some reason, they only speak English when they want to. And they always pretend they don't understand everything. I don't know why, but it's something the Japanese always did. Tatanka would do it. Not Tatanka. Yeah, was that his name? The dude that Mike Awesome fought? Tanaka.
Oh, no. Masato Tanaka? Masato Tanaka?
Him and Tajiri, they were roommates, I think, and Alf Herman.
Oh.
And anyway, yeah, they would act like they don't understand, and we're like, we know you speak English, like, you know, fucking know that, but that's something that they've always done. It's something that Japanese do. They do it over there too.
That's pretty funny. I was backstage at MLW like 4 years ago, and they had Tajiri there, and so I like walked up to him and I was like, "Hey, Tajiri, just letting you know, I'd like really appreciate your work, all that kind of stuff." And yeah, he didn't say a whole lot in English. He like just bowed, and like that was kind of it for him. So I don't think he wanted to talk. He didn't talk to anybody. So,
That's funny.
pretty
I
funny.
love Jerry. Good guy.
Yeah, I like Tajiri too. Shorter is better. I always remember that.
Better.
Shorter is better.
Wise man.
Yep. Yes, indeed. Mono Grinded. Thanks for the $5, Australian. Hey, Rob, did you ever wrestle Gary Albright or see him pull off any crazy feats of strength?
Yes, I did wrestle him. It was not in any singles matches, but quite a bit in All Japan, whether it was tag matches or 6-man tag matches. And I remember the day he came over, day one of him being in All Japan, because he had wrestled for UWF, and they were a somewhat shoot group, you know. They were called a shoot group, him and Dan Sabran and those guys. But anyway, I remember in the daytime on his first day there, Baba wanted him to get in the ring and show the boys, the Japanese guys, you know, they wanted to show them some of his moves, so that, you know, which I refused to do when I was over there. I mean, when I first went over my first time, Baba wanted me to come in the ring and show the young boys my moves, and I didn't go. I was in the locker room, and I was like, nah, I'm good. And then a few minutes later, they came back to get me again. Now, Baba, please, why don't you come ring, show young boys Van Damme moves? And I was like, I'm not going to show them how I do my moves. That's what I thought. Like, they were going to steal my moves.
Yeah.
I was going to do it. And I'm like, no, okay. You know, I was like, I'm good, though. And I just didn't go down. And Danny Crockett would always bring it up. I thought it was so funny because I was, you know, it's not like I was a big star. I was just 22 years old. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like,
yeah. Young and green. And I was like, oh, no, I'm good. Thank you. No, thank you. And I just stayed in the dressing room and wouldn't go down there. And because I was, you know, that's the way Sabu and Sheik taught me. You know, I wasn't going to show them my moves. And it was after, like, the first night or whatever. So they've seen some moves, and now they want me to show them how to do it. Fuck that, you know?
Right, yeah.
I wanted to see Gary, and Gary does this back suplex. And so he grabbed the young boy, put his arm behind his back, you know, behind his neck, and went wham, and he like dropped it, like boom, it was so quick, and he threw him on the back of his neck so quick that Ben Peacock, who was the fake Kamala, he was the one. I brought him to ECW and worked with him at Kamara. Big dude, Ugandan headhunter. He did one of these numbers, like he was watching. We were all watching. But he was in the stands on the floor, which doesn't make sense. He was in the seats on the floor, and when Gary went bam and dropped the dude on his neck, Ben went whoa, and he got up and he jumped. He climbed over the seat that he was sitting on and like ran away from the ring. Yeah. Yeah.
I remember I was on X and I saw, I don't know what it was. It was like from Japan, and it was Gary Albright cutting a fucking promo, and like he was dropping F-bombs like fucking crazy in this promo. I'm like, I have never seen any promo like that in my life. It was insane. I really need to find that thing because I was like, holy shit, I've never seen somebody, a wrestler, talk like that, like on television. But he was dropping that bombs like crazy over in Japan. It's like, I'm gonna fuck you up. I can't remember who he was talking to, but
yeah. Hey, later that night, that same night, after the matches, the stuff, we were all at this restaurant where they got cooks that are, cooking to order. You order and they fucking make you the food right there and shit.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we're drinking beer, and pretty soon, we hear, "Come on, fuck boy! Come on, fuck boy, right here!" And we turn and look, and Gary is on his knees, challenging this American dude that was over there to he's, come on, fucking hit me, bro, I'm right here. My fucking hands are behind my back, pussy boy. Come on, motherfucker. And he had his hands behind his back on his knees, wanting to fight this fucking guy. This was the first day that we met Gary. And I don't know what the guy did. He was not with us, but he was American. And then we gave, I say we, but I guess it was probably Crawford, gave Gary the nickname of Hyde. He told, "Come on, Hyde," because he would say he's like Jekyll and Hyde because he'd be really cool, and then all of a sudden he'd snap and he was just in asshole mode. And
wow.
And he did it once he snapped on me. We were in Hard Rock or Roppongi, and me, Crawford, and Gary were all about to get in the cab. The sun was out and shit. We had to get back to the hotel. We've been out all night. And the cab gets there. We open up the door. And then Gary goes, "I'm not getting in there. I'm not going anywhere with him." Boom. And he shut the door and just started walking. We're like, oh, fuck, here we go. And he's like, "He's Ace's boy. I'm not going anywhere with him. Fuck that." I was like, all right, whatever. We'll walk. And
walk.
Yeah, like he didn't get violent with me or whatever. And I kind of felt almost like it was like a half work. It wasn't like he was not in there like sometimes he seemed to be. So I wasn't worried or anything. But I know I told you before, we came out of Hard Rock in Roppongi one time, and he said, "I'm not going anywhere with him," and he was pointing to Jim Steele. "He's Ace's boy. I'm not going anywhere." And he said, Gary, I like you both. And he goes, "No, fuck that. You're a stooge. You hang out with Johnny. I'm not going anywhere with you. And fuck you." And he was like, Gary. And Gary went, bam, and he smacked him right across his face in front of all the boys and everything. It was just like, oh, damn. That sucked. Take that. And Jim was like, I'm not going to fight you, Gary. I'm not a fighter. I'm a wrestler. And Gary was like, "Fuck you." And then he was saying to me that a couple of days later, "It's Ace's boy. I'm not going anywhere with him." But I didn't feel like he was going to do that to me just because I felt like we're better friends than that,
Yeah. Man. Yeah, man. Imagine trying to de-escalate him like you did Scott Norton. Like younger RVD trying to do that.
He kept walking, and every time we try and get in the cab, he would do the same thing again. Say, "No, fuck that," and shut the door.
Man, it's crazy. Wow, what a cast of characters! I tell you what, that goes through a lot of that. Let me see here. Oh, we have one more super chat here. It was from Frankie. This is more of a statement. Thanks for the $5 in the raffle. The generation before me wanted to be like Mike Tyson. Before that, it was Bruce Lee. My generation wanted to be like wrestlers, and you can guess my choice. I'm guessing it's the guy sitting right over there.
James.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Thanks, Frankie.
You mean you weren't going around going, "Suck it.
Suck it. Suck it.
Suck it."
No. Suck it. Got 2 words for you. I know a lot of kids that did that in my school. I was more NWO, so I did all the NWO.
That's crazy how popular that was.
Right? Kids getting suspended. They had news segments on all that stuff. I just saw like there was a news segment where a school banned the Austin 316 shirts too and everything back in the day. Just crazy stuff back then. Man.
True.
Good stuff. I wanted to share this quote with you. This was Chris Bay. He tweeted this out today. I don't know if you saw this, Rob, but I thought this was a very cool quote. He said, "Some chapters of your life won't make sense until you're several chapters ahead. Stop trying to understand everything in real time." I think that's pretty cool to think about.
I like it. I like it a lot. Yep.
Yeah. Shout out to Chris Bay. I saw he was doing like the whatever these are, and he was doing 85 pounds. I was like, dang.
Yeah, shoulder presses, right?
Yeah, shoulder presses. Yep. Yeah.
I saw that too. Yeah, that's fucking
looking good. He's looking good.
we were gonna have him on here. We never had him on here yet.
Yeah, we should try to get him on at some point. That'd be great.
A few weeks ago, forgot, but yeah, he's doing great, looking great. Like he said, he wants it back, but I didn't remember that he looked. I didn't know that he looked as good as he does now. But I guess he still says he's wanting it back. He looks awesome.
Yeah. He looks really good. It's so impressive. I'm like, that just shows you how much not only your confidence in yourself and the belief in yourself and a higher power, whatever it may be, and plus the aspect too of you just being able to persevere through all that too, and just turn it up to the next gear to get back to where you were. Death ads for the $5. He says, "Dom, what do you mean you were NWO? That's for life, brother." Oh, that is true. I got to be NWO for life if that's the case.
That's true.
Good point, Frankie. Frankie, yes, you are in the raffle. Real quick, Rob, before we close out, I did want to ask you, did you see all the flack Tommy Dreamer was getting recently on X? He got released from TNA. And then
Right, I knew about that. Oh, that reminds me, I got to call somebody.
Oh, okay.
Oh, go ahead.
No, but like then a lot of wrestlers, well, not a lot. There was a few too that said they had negative experiences with him and all that kind of stuff.
Wrestlers are coming forward with putting their names on it and saying that they had bad experiences with them.
Yeah, putting their names on it, saying like the one referee from TNA or used to work with TNA said like Tommy said told him that he'd be sure he would never work in the business again in some form or capacity. And then some women wrestlers didn't like what he suggested that they do in the ring with them and stuff like that. And so like it's been a lot of like kind of negative feedback on social media, but I mean we've had Tommy on here. I'm friends with Tommy. Obviously, you're bigger friends with him, but it's just like I just think it's a generational gap thing that kind of goes on in a lot of ways. Like he's kind of more of that old school mentality, while a lot of these other wrestlers kind of have a different vibe. It's a different generation, and in society too at the same time. So, but I just thought it was a bummer too that he's great. He's a creative minded. I was surprised he got released from TNA. And so,
yeah, I guess he was surprised too, and then they surprised him with it, huh?
Yeah. They parted ways.
I saw Candice Michelle talking about it on social media, and she was crying and stuff. So I know he felt like family, and I saw him say that what he'll miss is helping people see or get to their potential and stuff like that. I didn't know about all that. About all the he's probably offending somebody right now with wearing 2 ponytails.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
Right. No, that's the thing too. I saw it was younger wrestlers that were kind of taking exception to what he said, and I just don't. I think they're just a generation ahead, and like there was a different generation for wrestlers back then, and there's a certain kind of mindset that people have. I just know, like, anytime I've interacted with Tommy backstage or seen him interact with people, it's all been positive for me. Like, so
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I when I get asked, which I do sometimes by younger wrestlers, if like I got asked that on the bus when we went to Hall of Fame and stuff, if I would ever consider, like coming in and maybe the NXT and training with guys or something. And my first thought is like, I don't know that the company would like what I have to say. I don't know. I don't even know if, because it's so there's it's different in ways that I can't believe people haven't told them don't do this, but they keep doing it. You know what I mean? Like there's so anyway, yeah, I was like, I really don't know how outdated my perspective is. So first off, I'd have to know that I understood, the message that I was there to represent.
Right, yeah. It's it's certainly because like WWE has their own philosophy of how to handle things, and but you guys are taught a different way, and how you were trained, and how you would probably train somebody. It's just a different thing, and so I don't know.
I said earlier, like in wrestling school now, you do a Van Terminator. That's like no joke. You do everybody's finishes. You see it on Instagram all the time. Like you're at a school and you walk on the top rope doing Hurricane Ranas. So I don't know where the specialties are really come in anymore, because they're not going to be based on the moves being that much different. You might have one move that's a little different that you can call yours if no one else in the company's doing it first or whatever, and try and use it as a finish. But besides that, it's like everyone's inspired by the same kind of style, or so it seems. And where's all the 400-pound giants at?
Right. Today would have been John Tenta's birthday too, and seeing him wrestle the Warlord. I clipped up something for Warlord today, and it was in Japan, and I was like, man, John Tenta was on another level of a big man. He was really, really good too, and it's just you don't see those kind of guys anymore. It's a shame,
He definitely wasn't doing Hurricane Ranas off the top rope.
No, he was not. He knew his realm. John Tenta did, that's for sure. He stayed in his realm. A couple people did give some comments. Devin Dowling, he says,
although if he was Earthquake, he could have called it a Hurricane Rana.
Oh,
he did do it.
Yes. Wow, that would have been a natural disaster, Rob.
Exactly. Let's do them all.
Devin Dowling says, that dude, he's meaning the young referee, didn't provide context into why Dreamer said that to him, though. Danny Jordan's concern was the one I thought was weird. That was one where he wanted to do a Francine spot where he grabbed her crotch or something like that. That was the one. That's what the one girl said. And then Sterling follows up, says, Tommy was lovely when I met him. Same as Rob. Those girls agreed. He kept an old ECW spot alive, spanking, pulling thongs for pile drivers, standard ECW stuff. He kept alive. So that's kind of what Sterling said Tommy was thinking in that regard too. So Frankie says, this has been the most fun episode so far.
Whoa. Frankie Trezo said that?
Yeah, Frankie Trezo said that. And he's been a lot of
episodes.
Mm-hmm. He's made his way around the town here. He who dares Adele says, it's been human resourced out of its arse, I'd imagine. Too much yellow tape and not enough stuff actually being worked on, I bet. Or he must be referring to some of the backstage stuff.
I didn't get that at all.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get that kind of at all.
No, I didn't either. It's been human resourced out of its arse, I'd imagine. Too much yellow tape, not enough actually being worked on, I bet.
What are we talking about?
I think the Tommy Dreamer thing, but I'm not sure.
Oh, he does have a fat arse.
Oh.
Very big.
Tommy. Devin Dowling says, my only interaction with Tommy Dreamer came at an indie show where Rhino and Danny Limelight were promoted. I walked in and Tommy and Elijah and Elias were there. It was cool with it and got pics. So there you go. So different strokes for different folks, everybody.
Yeah, who knows what they wanted from him? I know when I was there before, when during COVID, when we were wrestling in front of nobody in Nashville, in front of black curtains or whatever. I remember watching the TV one time, watching the monitor, and asking Scott, like, do you want me to tell the guys if I see something that I think would help them, or would you rather I just kind of mind my own business? and I can't remember what he said, but it was very non-committing. You know, it was kind of like I can't remember what he said. It didn't mean anything, so I had no idea, and I was like, I don't know what they want from me here, but they keep saying see you next week, and when we talked about that run, we did talk about a lot of times about me just being there for my name value, but I never felt like they really utilized that much, you know, especially not the right way, in my opinion.
No, not to the best level that they could have, for sure. I remember like around that same time. I don't know if you guys crossed over, but Ken Shamrock was there at the same time around then, and they like
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they like he was there, and I was like, oh man, they could really utilize Ken in a great way too, and they didn't quite do that with you and him. So
Yeah.
have a bummer.
No, I like Ken, and so I was glad he was there.
Yeah. Something I wanted to add too. I heard AEW actually. A lot of people, like if you're a backstage extra and stuff there, they encourage those extras to go and ask the wrestlers questions, like if they have like advice or anything like that. Like as long as you're not impeding on like what they're doing, they kind of like, hey, if you have, you know, you want to seek advice from some of these people back here, like some of the veterans and stuff, go ahead, you know. So I thought that was kind of neat that AEW does that. But cool, Rob. The whole week. Let's do the raffle, I guess, and close this baby out.
Let's do it.
Let's do it too. Oh, I gotta pull it up here. I gotta do the screen share. Gotta share this with everybody. Share screen. Wheel of names. Here we go. All right. If you entered for $5 or more, you are into the raffle. Grand prize here is this RVD split-legged card here from Topps. You will also get an RVD IOU, where if you ever meet RVD in person, he'll give you a photo and an autograph. So do that. And then the runner-up here will get the CM Punk Topps Chrome card. That's really, really cool looking. So, all right, I'm going to shuffle the names here, and then we're going to spin for the first RVD card. This is the grand prize to this week. So here we go. Spinning the wheel. Who's it going to be? Oh, man. Oh, it's going to be Michael M. That is Michael Morstead. He's the big bong guy, or the big
Michael
club.
I'm a big fan of Michael Madsen.
Michael Madsen. Congrats, Michael Madsen. The late Michael Madsen. I am a big fan of Michael Madsen too, but Michael, so big club smoker or whatever that is. Big, I can't remember the name of it, but you win it. Congrats. Make sure you send me your info, and I'll send you this RVD card. You get an RVD IOU, so congrats to you. All right, we'll remove you from all of it, and then now we will get the CM Punk card. Who will get it this week? Who will get it this week? Oh. All right. It's Carter. Congratulations to you, my friend. Be sure to hit me up.
We should have the audio when you start this that says it, dude, it spins or whatever I said.
It's like your belt. Yeah, the belt thing, dude. It's okay.
I like this one. It spins.
Oh, I like that. I'll get that. I'll grab that for sure.
I hope you do.
I hope you do. So Carter, send me your info. Send your address info to dpdangelo@gmail.com, and I'll be happy to send this out to you. So congratulations to you and to Big Club Smoker guy too as well. Win that. All right, Rob, this has been fun. We covered a whole lot of ground this week, so good to be on track again, and we'll get another episode in the can next week. So thanks everybody for tuning in.
It's good. Yeah, I'll talk to you about when, and cool. Appreciate it, Van Dam fam. Thanks for joining us.
Check out damngoodcbd.com and check out rvd420.com too. Do you want to add anything to that, Rob? Any updates on that?
Not at this time. I'm going to go ahead and finish this doobie, so I suggest you guys do too.
All right. Finish your doobies, everybody. We'll We'll see you next time here on One of a Kind. With who? Oh, it's with RVD. The whole effing show. Mr. Monday Night, as he's known.
Peace out, hoes.